Hello, and welcome back to our NST web app training video series. In this video, we'll cover logging in and navigating the various geographic groups in the NST web app. Alright, so to begin, I'm going to launch my browser, which for me is Safari since I'm working on a Mac. And I'm going to go up to my URL bar and I'm going to type in neocando.case.edu/nst/. Again, we don't type in the www dot because it'll take us to an unfound server page. Once I've typed in my URL, I'm going to hit enter and it's going to take me to the NST homepage. To log into the NST web app, I would then enter my username and password. Our username is going to be the organization affiliated email address that we signed up with. Let's say that I forgot my password. I could go down to this green password reset button, enter the organization affiliated email address that I signed up with, and then hit submit. And an email would be sent to that email address and it would walk me through the reset password process. But for now, I remember my email and password, so I'm going to go back and enter those. So for me, that's going to be my case affiliated email address and my password. Then I'll go ahead and hit login. So once you've logged in, you'll be taken to the NST homepage. In the homepage, you can see the different geographic groups you've been assigned based on your organization affiliation. So for me, I could see that I've been assigned Cleveland, several code enforcement groups, Cuyahoga County, and wards 1 through 17. Depending on why you're using the NST web app, you may choose to look at a larger geographic group such as Cuyahoga County or Cleveland, or a smaller geographic group such as a CDC service area or code enforcement geographic group. By selecting a larger geographic area, you will be able to pull information for a greater amount of parcels. However, if you're only interested in a smaller section of a population, it might not be useful for you to look at all of these parcels. So first, I'm going to show you what happens when you look at the largest geographic group, which is Cuyahoga County. I'm going to go ahead and click on Cuyahoga County, and I can see that I have been taken to the NST Explorer page. In the NST Explorer page, I can see several things. First, I have a navigation bar at the top. Second, I have my record location and counter bar. My record location and counter bar right now is displaying that I'm looking at the Cuyahoga County group, and my table is displaying parcels 1 through 10 of 550,413 parcel records. Below my counter, I could see the table, which is right now showing those first 10 parcels. And since the table is in its default mode, I can just see parcel number, house number, and street name for those first 10 parcels. I can also see the tag and the I feature next to each parcel, which I'll go over in a later video. To the right of my table is my record navigation box, which is going to allow me to navigate through more pages of parcel records. And finally, over here to the far right, I can see a drop-down menu, which is going to allow me to expand my table and look at 20 or 30 parcel records per page if I want to have a larger table. One of the benefits of having a larger table is obviously you get to see more records per page. However, a drawback to this is that it takes a little bit longer for your table to load if you have that many parcels per page. I'm just going to go ahead and show you what the table looks like when you load 30 parcels. There you go. You can see that it's a really large table. So one of the benefits of looking at this larger geographic group is that you can look at more data and can begin to explore some trends affecting the county as a whole. However, there are several limitations to looking at such a large geographic group. First, you can't use the download feature, which is only available if you're looking at a geographic group with 20,000 or fewer parcels. As you can see, this error box popped up when I clicked the download button. Next, you can't use the map feature, which is only available if you're looking at a geographic group which has 5,000 or fewer parcel records in it. So, a couple of limitations: you can't download and you can't map. And finally, this large geographic group may provide way more information than you'd like, especially if you're only interested in a certain area of the county or of a city. So to look at a smaller geographic group, we're going to go back to our home page by selecting the NST Home button in the top left-hand corner. Once I'm back at the home page, I can select the smaller geographic group I'm interested in. So let's say that I work for the Ohio City Code Enforcement Group and would only like to see the parcels in my service area. So I'd go ahead and I'd click my Code Enforcement Group. And again, I'll be taken back to the NST Explorer page, which looks just like the NST Explorer page that popped up when I selected Cuyahoga County. The only difference is that now my record counter and location are listing the Ohio City 2014 Code Enforcement Group in the top left-hand corner, and it's showing that I'm only looking at parcels 1 through 10 of 3,560 parcels for this group. So it's a much smaller geography than the Cuyahoga County group. Since my geography has fewer than 20,000 parcels, I can now hit the download button, and I can see that it's pulling all of this information and creating a file for me to download of all of these parcel records. So if I were to click this download here button, an Excel spreadsheet would be downloaded. I'm going to hit OK. Next, because there are fewer than 5,000 parcels in this geography, I can map my service area. To map it, I'm going to go ahead and click on the map button. The map will pop up in a separate window. The web app is going to take a few moments to map out this geography. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. So once it's mapped, you can see your service area in red. So here I could see this Ohio City Code Enforcement Group mapped in red. A benefit to this is that I can now see what my geography looks like as a whole and can begin to see what parcels are not included in this geography. For example, if I'm looking over here at West 50th Street, I can see all of the parcels on the east side of the street between Detroit Avenue and Lorain Avenue are included in this service area. However, all of the parcels on the west side of the street, which are not in red, are not included in this service area. So again, it's useful when you want to learn more about what your geography looks like and you want to see what it encompasses and what it does not encompass. By Xing out of this page, I'll be taken back to my NST Explorer page. Finally, I can also search for a specific parcel from this page. By selecting this search button, a new box is going to pop up where I can search by owner name, house number, or street name. When looking at a small geography, this can let me know if a parcel is included in my service area or not. So I'm going to go ahead and look up and see if a parcel off of Detroit Avenue is included in my service area. I remember from when we mapped this service area that Detroit Avenue was included. So let's say I wanted to see if 4507 Detroit Avenue was one of those included parcels. I'm going to go ahead and type in 4507 next to house number, and where it says street name, I'm going to type in Detroit. I'm not going to type in street or boulevard or avenue after my street name because that's just more information than the web app needs. After I hit submit, I can see that house number 4507 on Detroit Avenue is included in this geographic group, and it has 2 parcels, hence why it's showing two different listings for this house number. Had nothing shown up, that would mean that the parcel is not included in this geographic group, or I typed in too much information that doesn't match up with the information in NST. In a later video, I'm going to give a more in-depth overview of filtering and searching in the web app. So we've now gone through a couple of ways of navigating the geographic groups included in the NST web app. If you're interested in a geographic group or service area that is not listed for you, you can go ahead and email nstwebapp@case.edu with your name, organization, and the service area that you're interested in. And an NST web app team member will be able to follow up with you and get you set up with the specific service areas you're interested in. And this concludes our video on logging in and navigating the geographic groups in the NST web app. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, please feel free to email nstwebapp@case.edu, and an NST web app team member will get back to you shortly.